Well, hey there, Chef Donna here, and welcome to Everyday Homemade. Everyday Homemade is designed to teach you the basics of cooking, all the while making something delicious and homemade for your family. But in this episode, it's going to be for your sweetheart. Today, I'm going to be making some heart energy bombs. Now, these are a healthy way to have a sweet treat and give you a boost of energy during the day. They have oats and honey and chocolate chips. So let's go ahead and get started. Now these are going to be a healthy sweet treat, and I'm going to use cashews. Now instead of buying like a pre-made nut butter in the grocery store, I'm going to actually make my own. But these, and I bought organic raw nuts. So I'm going to go ahead and put them onto a cookie sheet, and I'm going to bake them in the oven for about 8 minutes. And what this does is it brings out the natural oils in the nut, which adds to more flavor. So you definitely always want to toast your nuts before you use them in any dish, like even like cookies or anything like that. So I have them all here on the baking sheet, and I'm going to put them in the oven for 8 minutes, and I'll be back then. My timer just went off, so I'm going to get those nuts out of the oven. And they're just lightly golden brown, a little bit more than they went in. They were pretty blonde when they went in. So I'm going to let them cool for a couple of minutes, then we're going to put them into the food processor. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the cashews into the food processor. And it's going to take a little bit for them to actually turn into a nut butter. Probably about 10 minutes, so we'll see how it goes when we're processing. But I don't need to add any oils or anything to it. I am going to add a little bit of salt. So I got the pan's still a little warm. So I'm going to go ahead and get the nuts into the bowl, and then we're going to start. This is so fun and exciting. I love making things from scratch versus buying from the grocery store. Anything processed, if I can make it from scratch, I'd rather do that. All right, so get the lid on. Get it, lock it, and we're gonna get it together. So you can see it's starting to rise up the sides here. So I'm just gonna scrape it down and then continue processing. As you can see, it's starting to form into a paste. It's been about 8 minutes now. It's been about 10 minutes, and as you can see, it's pretty creamy. I'm going to give it a pinch of salt, and then just let it blend for another minute. So there we have it. Homemade nut butter. Like, how simple was that? So fun, right? I'm like so excited. I just love things like this. So I'm going to go ahead and get 1/3 of a cup out for our recipe today. All right, so here we go. 1/3 of a cup. And then the rest of it, I can just store in the refrigerator for up to a month. So it'll last a good long time. And you could use any nut that you like. I happen to love cashew, so I'm using a cashew. But you could certainly use a peanut if you wanted to, or whatever nut that you like a lot. All right, so now that we have that together, I'm going to get a bowl, and we're going to start with our mixture. So now you could simply double this recipe if you want to make more, but I don't need a ton of them in my refrigerator, so I'm keeping the recipe kind of small. So there's my 1/3 of a cup. Now I have 3/4 a cup of organic old-fashioned oats. I have 1/4 of a cup of chocolate chips. Now these chocolate chips I bought at Whole Foods, and I wanted to look at the label and see, you know, the least amount of ingredients when you're buying something. They would be the healthiest. So this particular bag only has like 3 ingredients. Unsweetened chocolate, it has cane sugar, and it has cocoa butter. You can't get any simpler than that. I looked at some of them and the ingredient list was super long, so I didn't want those. All right, so that's a 1/4 cup of nuts, and then of chocolate chips, and then 2½ tablespoons of honey. Now, I bought an organic honey just at the local grocery store. So I'm going to go ahead and mix this all together. So now I'm going to use a cookie scoop because I kind of want, a form. If you're going to make them into balls, you'd want them all to kind of be the same size. But watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to push it down a little bit. And then I have a heart-shaped cookie cutter. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut out a heart. Like, how fun is this to give to your Valentine? Perfect. I'm just going to push it out. And there's our little heart. This looks so cute. I'm going to put it right on this baking sheet that I've lined with parchment paper. So once I get them all made, I'm going to put them in the refrigerator to chill. Look how cute they are. Can you stand it? So I got 10 little hearts, which I think would be perfect as a gift size. Now I'm going to put them in the refrigerator for about an hour. I put the remainder of the cashew butter into a little deli container, and I wrote the date on the top of it. I do this a lot, like pretty much whenever I open any type of condiment, anything that I'm going to have in the fridge and I'm going to store, I want to know how long it's been in there. So I always write the date with magic marker on the top. So this can sit in the refrigerator for 1 month. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in with my little treats. My little heart-shaped energy bombs have been sitting in the refrigerator for about an hour and they firmed up nice. So I'm going to go ahead and put them into a little container so I can store them. Now, if you wanted to be creative, you could get a cute little box and line it with tissue paper and then put the little bombs in there for your sweetheart on Valentine's Day. But right now, I'm just going to put them in this little container and then save them for later on for my husband and I to enjoy. But I do actually want to take a quick little taste of one before I put them away. It's just too tempting. I have to do it. So. They're so yummy. I took too big of a bite. So you really get, because we roasted the nuts, it's a really strong, creamy kind of cashew nut flavor to it. And then the chocolate chips just give you that little bit of sweetness. And then of course the oats are something healthy and give it hearty and kind of hold it together. They're really yummy. And I hope that you make them for your sweetheart. So today I showed you how to make a nut butter from scratch and how simple it was to do it. All you need is some nuts, a little bit of salt, and a food processor, and you have it. And then we created these cute little heart energy bombs for your sweetheart on Valentine's Day. If you enjoyed the video today, go ahead and like and subscribe to never miss an episode. And until next time, I hope you have a very happy Valentine's Day. And I'll talk to you all later. Bye, everyone.